mom used to write a lot of notes. And used to have notebooks. I wish I still had them. I just had realization. My heart hurts a little. So if you're gonna be mean to me, you just not. You know what? How do I turn this thing on though? How do I? I want to just hide all the chat. I don't care. I don't want to see the chat. Yesterday was a hard day for me because I had a realization. I see things, then I see how things are gonna go, and how things are gonna go are gonna be uncomfortable, and it's gonna be hard, and it'll just be more stuff that I'll get through, or I won't. Who knows? Maybe I'll just fall apart and crumble and dissolve one day. I've asked myself that before. How come other people just get to roll up in a ball and do nothing? How come I not there? So I was gonna take mom up into the mountains to be with nature, and it was too hot. And she started to zone out sometimes when I talk to her. She's already looking on the other side. And the way I see it is, on this life, we enjoy life. We have our experience, whatever that experience is. And then we move on to it, whatever our spirit wants to do next. And so the more time mom spends in the no place space, the less time she's here. And that was yesterday. I realized that light at the end of the tunnel might be a train that could come sooner than later. And mom's my best friend. Mom's my only friend. And all the love that I had to learn to give to myself and not keep for just me, I've been giving to her since I was a 15-year-old little girl. Because I promised her I'd never leave her. Because the time I left her, a man slammed her head in the car door of a 64 Chevy Biscayne, because I wasn't there to protect her. And all the other times she didn't get seriously hurt, because I was there to protect her. And this isn't even a responsibility that men behold. Because my dad didn't. He left. He left his daughter to take care of his wife. And I've done a better job of it. Let's see, I'm 50, so that's what, 7 years I've been doing the job of what all of society told me men were supposed to do, is take care and be the provider and the protector. And so yesterday, that was supposed to be somewhat of a pleasant day, was more of a stressful day, and I didn't get to enjoy going into nature. That's just how it is. I did learn of a new place to go, though, and I will take mom there one day, maybe. See, they keep, it's cold, the temperature is dropping at night. It's getting colder at night. But see, it's not cooling down during the day because so many people are using electronics that is what keeps, in towns, that's what keeps your ambient air warmer. It's trying to cool the air. It just, living on this planet is just so, people don't make sense to me. I'm one of them alien ones. I was born in San Bernardino, so I'm an alien. But I got notes today, so hopefully I won't focus too far off. I wake up and I have to ask the internet questions, and then the internet gives me back its sum of all parts of what it thinks, and then I add it to my sum of all parts of what I think. Mom just didn't have bad days before, and now I see there's good days and there's bad days. And I went through the same thing with my dogs. I just don't like going through this stuff by myself because I get scared when I'm alone. So I talk to the no place space and go, they say you're out there, gods. And people aren't here, so I'll talk to you. And I look at the gods as the planets, in case you're wondering. I like it. I like astrology. Mom had my first chart done when I was born. So all of the little quirks that I am are explained by planets in the sky. It's true. Like the reasons why I do the things I do. So first I want to talk about is I want to put some people's minds at ease about things that are happening over there. Okay? I know they're flexing. They're getting that pre-game talk. Okay, you guys are men. You're gonna go out there and do things that men do. This is the pep talks they get. Because I was a woman in male-dominated careers, and they gave me the same talks. I didn't want to disrespect women, so I just edited in my head. And I was asking some questions this morning on the internet. First, where's the moon? Today the moon is... Where is the moon today? Aquarius. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm community minded right now because they're for the whole tribe, yeah. Okay. So first thing I started thinking about, how did it start? Oh, it was a clip from a show called Shameless that I never watched. This is how my mind operates. And this character in it, he owns a bar, found out that he had a family. And he went back to meet his family with his family. And then he found out he got Joe dirted. They Joe dirted him. And then I started thinking about how the crossover, like, storylines are pretty much always the same kind of thing. They take stories from the Greek myth and then they make, like, Star Wars and the Bible. Like, you know, like, there's all these crossovers. And then I started thinking about Gaza. And then I wonder, you know, and then like the whole Joe Dirt story, Mom is a Joe Dirt because Mom was put in an orphanage. Anytime parents are like, nah, I don't want to deal with the kid and basically shun it off to be somebody else's problem. You know, because they want to make themselves feel better by not just like either they ignore it, which is predominantly what most people do, or they create this pretty picture in their mind that like whatever they shunned is it's for their own good or not. So I want to let people know something about the art of war. I've never read any books on it. I don't like to read a lot because I believe in osmosis. I don't need to read because the story's out there. I can just meditate on it. And I try to let people know that as I see it, because I've been to war when I went to Crete in 2003 when we bombed Iraq for no reason. The art of war is to make you believe the conflict is outside of yourself. So to make people believe that someone else is a bad guy. And that's what the president's doing. And he actually wrote a book on the art of war, and I never read his book because I don't care, because he probably plagiarized it off a bunch of other collections. Because the dude ain't not done. It's like Ghost Riders. Like, the dude has never driven a car. He's never driven anything more than a golf cart. So his reality is based on what all the people around him tell him his reality is. So, asking the internet questions. I asked it. This is the one that's, I'm going to use it as probably the thumbnail today. But here are the statistics of Gaza that people don't think about, because they just hear Gaza and see pictures on a screen and, oh, how mean, how could you do that to them? Okay? Now, first, we should probably maybe talk about history. Let's see. Here's the documented timeline from 1948. Now, we got to put on our critical thinking skills. Got to take off the Santa's real hat. You know, Christmas is coming. You know, a lot of people have been real good and they didn't get nothing, so they're really starting to believe Santa's a crock. I figured it out. I was like 5'6", and they just had to shut me up and try not to make me ruin it for other kids. Because I'm just a truth teller. And why are you telling kids things that aren't, you know, why are you lying to your kids? Why are you lying to your kids? So 1948, 1967, Gaza under Egyptian administration. It's all for that little itty bitty freaking blip because of the trade. Because they can just go from that ocean and walk over to the it's a trade path. So it's all about who gets that, right? Who gets to make the most money, so when you die, you get to rectify for being the biggest trash heap. Makes perfect sense, folks. So, Israel fought 3 wars in Egyptian-administered Gaza Strip, the 1948 Palestine War, the Suez Crisis, and the Six-Day War in 67. In 2005 to 2007, that's what we aided in. That's why Crete we bombed Iraq from Crete, just so we could be a part of it and get those ribbons and buttons and those fancy little awards and just say, hey, I did this. So, since Hamas took over the Gaza Strip by force in 2007, Hamas and Israel have had several mini wars. Almost all began with airstrikes. I hate history. I don't like doing this, but I'm trying to show people something here. I'm trying to get people to see how what they're saying over there is just another Santa Claus. The major bombing campaigns since then, December 20, they always do it around major holidays, ruin people's holidays, but that's alright. You get tax-free, hazardous pays. So December 2007, or December 27th, 08 to January 17th, 09, Operation Cast led. Israeli planes launched an evasive bombing campaign. So, and then in 2012, in 14, in 2021, 2022, and from 2023 until now, they've been bombing the Gaza Strip, okay? This is the part that people really need to consider. Is what the Gaza Strip is. What is the Gaza Strip? It's this little itty bitty little blip. I'm a man! That is okay, and these are the key measures. It is only 25 miles long, the Gaza Strip. At its most narrow point, it is 3.7 miles wide. At its widest point, it is 7.5 miles wide. That is 141 square miles of landmass. What are the square miles of Taos County? 141 square miles. They have been playing, Earth is bombing this little strip. Taos County is much bigger than Gaza. Total area 2,204 square miles. Land area. Taos County so compared to the Gaza Strip, about 141 square miles, Taos County is 15, 16 times larger in area. And you're trying to tell me that all the stuff that we've been doing in an area that is so much small, that like people don't think, you don't think, oh, we're protecting democracy and freedom and democracy because that's what it said in the book. You know what else is said in the book? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer. They put all silly. They make fun of the. I can't believe the crap that people buy into. And they just talk about the Gaza Strip, Gaza Strip, Gaza Strip, Gaza Strip. I'm like, dude, you guys are chumps. They're punking you. The world's being punked. And I'm over here laughing at the world and clowning the world. Because I can't take the world seriously, because it's a joke. Because it believes in fucking pretend shit like that. They used to always say, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. I said, I could never be myself. Nobody would accept me for who I am. And then when I was 42, I had something happen. Lots of things happened. Lots of things didn't happen. And I realized I'm just going to be myself. Because people ignore me anyway. So I've been myself ever since. And people have been ignoring me anyway. I must be the most... I'm not an influencer. That's why nobody wants me to have, like, talk with me and do interviews with me and stuff like that. I'm sure of it. It's because I'll break their beliefs. Because that's what I do. My name's Margie. I'm a mirage. I'm a mixed up. I'm a heyoka. Like, I don't mean to be all the things that I am. I am what I am. So I'm going to be the best damn what I can. And I will do it. And I have been. Cracks me up. 141 square miles. Well, we have, how many, like, there should be nothing. That place should be leveled. Based on, I mean, come on, people. If you believe that, you're going to believe, you know what? I'm about to make a meeting with the. I'm about to make a meeting with the mayor, and actually tell, like, use me, just use all my ideas. Use all my ideas, because if you give people what they did, yeah, you're gonna still have to watch those that are blacked out, you know. And hopefully, once you start giving people's basic needs, they're gonna stop wanting to shit on their own sidewalks. I don't go walk around town anymore because it smells like urine. Because they lock people out. They say, oh, you're respectable, you can use our stuff, but you weren't, so you can't. And that's not good orderly direction. That's not I look at God as good orderly direction. Just do the right thing. If you see somebody thirsty, give them water. Most people are, they don't even understand, most beings don't even comprehend how noodly it makes your brain when your brain isn't properly hydrated. If you're not drinking enough water, you can't think straight. And you ain't going to act right. You ain't going to feel right. And you're going to want to do other things to make yourself feel better. These energy drinks, man, I used to be like that. 2016, I haven't had a Red Bull since 2016, 10 years. I haven't done a lot of things since 2016, 10 years. But I used to drink two at a time through a straw. I was all about go, 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 go. Make my insides or make my outsides match my insides. Or vice versa. Until your heart blows up. I did a drug one time. I was probably 18 years old. Mom kicked me out. She said, I love you, you're my daughter, but I don't understand you. So she took my money and then had the locks changed, and I had to figure it out. I've been trying to figure it out ever since, and she people, I've been a couch surfing. My life, the comforts of my life are based on the kindness of strangers that have, when I needed safety and security, they were the ones that gave it to me. So I try to give that to other people, because it's us that have gone without. We're the most generous. It's not the ones that collect the abundance to share with others, to divvy it out what they see fit. Because they always think that they deserve the most themselves. Because America's a Ponzi scheme. So I gotta take a screenshot of that. My whole phone is... I gotta figure out who I'm gonna leave my shit to. My legacy accounts. I hate to see all this stuff go to waste. Maybe I'll just donate my digital print willfully to... Like, why can't we do that? Why can't that be a thing? That's a good idea. That's a... Like, I would sell all my content, and then I would use the money for that to get people in a place they want to be. More and more, it's going to be harder. Population numbers are going to be more in alignment with how they are than what they say they are, because the people that are supposedly counting the numbers have less credibility. Yeah? Because perception is reality, and reality doesn't exist unless there's a perceiver. Some dude I started to listen to before I did this talk, his name's Amrit or something like that. I don't know, he lives in Colombia. He was talking to some lady in the United States who's probably never changed a tire in her life, never busted a knuckle, gotten dirty laying on the ground, like, none of that stuff. But she's telling us how it is, and I'm going to go, okay, because you say it. Whatever. And they were talking about how old the Earth is, and that always makes me laugh. Every time I hear, oh, the Earth is millions of years old, I just scoff at it, because it's only as old as the oldest thing on this Earth is to perceive it. That's it. Anything else is just a story. It's just something that may or may not be true. But the actual account has to be perceived based on all those, like, split science stuff. You know, I got degrees in science. Didn't do me no good. They don't give you degrees in being a stay-at-home daughter. I would be at a master level. I wonder if Mom's waking up. Are you waking up, Mom? Oh, she's still sleeping. Or she doesn't hear me. I'm just trying to make the woman as comfortable as she possibly can be in a freaking world. But the only person that has given her any favor is me. this song, is it stuck? I think it's stuck. This is gonna make me angry. I need to calm down. This is what getting old is about. Because when I don't calm down, my shit don't work. I heard this song when I was driving up in the mountains. Didn't have service, but for some reason, Just a Dream, Nelly was on like repeat. At least I'm not an old lady with like big old flab under my arms. At least I'm not like them like that. And at least I give stuff away. These are magnets. That's what I did the other day. I went and walked around town. And I like to leave them for the randos to find them. Because it's their, our gift is what we give of ourselves to other people, not what we collect. That don't do nobody. Me going on a book tour don't keep mom's bum clean. Come on, man. What are people's priorities at? Give me a break. So, I went up to see a homie in the woods yesterday. He had been broken down for 2 weeks, and he had to leave his tent and everything there, and I went up to see. I brought him a burger from a real good burger truck in here in front of Mattress Mary's. And he was so grateful. I said, I'm the best Uber Eats ever. I drove 40 miles round trip. I had to leave mom. I was going to take mom with me, and then when I went to go load her up in the car, I knew that I needed to leave her here, but I made a commitment and I didn't want to leave her. And then when I got home, the TV was not on the show. And I don't like leaving her alone, but I don't like leaving her with people I can't believe I went to a war and it didn't do anything to make the world any better. That I can't leave my mom alone. And I don't have anybody to leave her with. And I can't, that's why I can't make commitments. That's why I can't tell people, I'll be there, is because sometimes things come up and I can't. And I would have loved to just just say, no, dude, I can't. But the guy was so stoked and he hadn't eaten since the day before. Who knows? People don't get food. People don't get what they need because the United States is a Ponzi scheme. Because people want to have money so they can pay people to do things for them that they can't do for themselves. And these new generations want to learn how to do things for themselves. I've been talking about these evaporative water machines for years, and now I'm starting to see companies that are manufacturing and distributing them. The thing of it is that, this is all technology that the civil engineers, Army Corps of Civil Engineers have always had. I just never understood that, why can't Americans use that to make their lives better too? Why does it have to just be a creature comfort when we go over there to do things that they just drag their feet to do so they can pay themselves hazardous duty pay and tax-free while their moms are here frickin' having to deal with the bratty brats that they made. Because all kids are is the garbage that two humans don't rectify within themselves. That's all. You have a kid, and then it's because how I know is because they have used both of their shadow aspects to play that kid back and forth, and they do it. They act like they don't. They always act like they read all the books to make sure that the kid's mind is going to come out intact. And look at planet Earth. Is anybody's mind fully intact? Fully, like if somebody's mind's intact, they are probably have a little chip in their brain. The Stepford Wives. Oh, I got my bullet pants on. These are the only guns I own and operate. These are my firearms. And then I got these. I'm looking for a tattoo artist. I want to have holy water tattooed right there. Holy water. Holy water, right there. Holy water, a little jar of holy water. And then Preacher Marge. You need to bring Marge. You need to bust out the holy water. Or no, I'm not a knuckle tattoo person. That's not. I look at tattoos or scars from our past incarnations, or maybe even our future. Cracks me up. That's just the best thing ever, is just not to even just hide the chat. Okay, so I had my Gaza talk. The art of war is to make you believe the conflict is outside of yourself. Data is as easy to manipulate as the people or the beings that collect the data. How much data is imposed based on inaccurate data? Like, that's what the bot farms do. They make the world believe in a reality that don't exist, just like how they teach political science, how political science is a thing. Really? That is just another name for acting class, for a different class of personality that couldn't fit into the program how they wanted them to be. So they have, like, Hollywood is DC's backup. Like, they play off each other. Weird stuff happens in the world, and then people witness it, and then they make shows about it, because we live in an all things conscious, or all things possible multi-universe. And then the agency exists to profit from trying to get the world to believe what they see is true or not, whatever. It's just so easy to see. How come people don't see this stuff like me? So they keep talking about solar flares, and I look at, have you ever been to a planetarium? If you ever been to a planetarium, it's probably a lot easier for you to get the whole Truman Show. And I get it, because I went to a planetarium when I went to Rother. I was like, was that 3rd grade? 4th? I like this song. Oh my god. 525,600 minutes. 525,000 moments of year. I'm trying to get those high ones. 600 minutes. How do you measure a year? I gotta get ready for karaoke. In sunsets, in midnight, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter and strife. I saw this in real life. 25,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in life? I can't do that high stuff. But yeah, I saw, was that from Rent? I picked up, it was like a surprise date I did for a girl that I liked. We were supposed to go to a meeting, and I even went to her life mentor and asked permission. Like, a lady I knew worked at a radio station, and I know about day of show tickets, that they keep day of show tickets. And then the day of the show, they release all these tickets that they didn't sell, so you can get like front row seats because they don't want empty seats in the front row, or you get good seats for less. And then this lady I knew worked at a radio station, and I knew, and then Rent was in town, and so I asked her. I said, "Is there any way you can get any comm tickets?" And she said, "Yeah, I think I can get a couple." And I was running around all over, like, trying to arrange this. And like, I had to pick them up at go to the radio station and get them. But then I had to go ask this girl's life mentor if we could skip our meeting for the night because I got tickets to go to Rent. And then I picked her up with the Rent tickets in my pocket, and then she's like, "Well, where are we?" I said, "Well, we're gonna go do something different than the regular meeting tonight." And then we went to see Rent. And that was cool. I just like showing people a good time without it getting weird. That's all. Like, I want to be a tour guide in Taos. I want people on social media to be like, "Man, this chick don't suck. I wonder what she would have to say in real life that she has to edit herself on, And then invite people here, and then have community events where we focus on somebody that has a dilapidated house or something, and help them get their house in repair, and then we all gather and feast and dance and play music and games, blow bubbles, just, and then it always escalates. There's always those within the group that it's like, "Yeah, this is a good time, but let's go over here behind the darkness and do weird stuff." And I'm not into that stuff, man. That's why I don't like doing what the city does. They put up fences so the people that could go to the park every day of their life for free, now they got to pay to get in their own park. And the parks in Taos aren't safe anyway. The city knows that because they see the media on the social media, and they see that it's that older women, older than me, and their dogs are getting bludgeoned and hurt. So I've been beat up by men too much in my life. That's why I'm trained. I'm always training. I'm always learning, like, how can I get home to Mom safely? That's my main objective. That is my primary purpose. How to get Mom home safe, or how to get home safe to Mom, or how to get home safe with Mom. We go the back. I mean, I live so deliberately and so intentionally to avoid the masses of asses, because that's the asses of masses are out full force, and they have free will, and they're gonna take yours using theirs. Mom used to say something to me when I was a kid. Mom was a Sagittarius, so was my grandma. So my dad's mom was a Sagittarius, and Mom was a Sagittarius. Mom would be like, "Oh, I love you even when you're ornery. Like, even when you're an asshole, I'm gonna love you anyway." That was her way of showing me conditional love. I go over to Grandma's house and have to stay with Grandma, and it would be like, I only knew Dad's side because Mom was adopted. I never got to meet my grandma and grandpa on Mom's side because she was put in an orphanage. I did find out, I do believe, if it's the same woman. I gotta call this cat today in a little while. It's too early. I'll wait till 10, maybe 9. Leave a message. I met a relative the other day on the way into town. I can't make this shit up, man. Anyway, so he, maybe he'll spread the word that I'm not a trashy, because I'll tell him, I'll be like, "Hey, dude, you like," because I'll give him candy if I can get him to eat candy, unless that stuff that hurts your liver. It's all metabolizing, because all alcohol does is it turns people to liver. or their turns their sugar to oh, booze bad. So grandma used to say to me, "Don't be ugly. Don't be ugly." And I figured it out. It took me 52 years to figure out what she was talking about. She was trying to get me to always be agreeable. She was saying don't, because they would say things to me and I would doff protest with my face. I'm an Aries, my whole face will tell you this is bullshit. And so will my energy. And so that's what ugly was to them, is being disagreeable. And I wouldn't agree with stuff that my heart wouldn't align with, because it was more than just my heart. If I did things when I was a kid that wasn't right, my stomach would hurt. My stomach was my brain more than my brain was. When I ever since, because I was mom's little stress detector in vitro. She was sucking off my life force to sustain her, keep her going the whole time she was pregnant. That's why I came out such a little itty bitty baby. I still got to grow up strong, maybe not big, tall. So I just think that advantage turns people ugly, and a lot of people got real ugly. And then they or disadvantage on the very opposite end, because hurtful things can make people ugly too. Parenting moment, give me a break. I can't believe people are even having kids right now. I would be like, dude, I'm not bringing a thing on this planet that I love, because I can't guarantee I'm going to stay here. Like, wonder people are so arrogant to think that they can provide whatever that child needs to make sure it has a happy life, because look at all the miserable people that are populating the realms right now. With all the privilege and all the advantage, and there's still, it's never going to be enough. It's never going to be enough. For the egoic, when things need external sources to make them feel good about themselves, they never go inside and say, I feel good about myself because I feel better about helping people than I do using money to make, have that same experience in a different place. People live in loops. They do it when they ride bikes. Because where I live, there's a lot of looping here. There's a lot of people that live in loops. Generations, people that have been here hundreds of years, life after life, they live the life that the person before them lived without going outside that life. That's one life lived. That's one life lived by 12 people, not 12 people living a life. It's one life lived, not. That's what generations do. They get people stuck in loops. So I want to see things change different, like trade schools in Taos and invite talents from all over to come here for a year and teach us how you do it. And then we'll teach you how we do it. Because cooperation is nature's way. Lord knows it took me losing all 3 of my dogs in 11 months to become an agreeable spirit. And to learn to yield in my pain and not flash and flare. To use my energy wisely, as Mom taught me. To do things that are going to help and not to hinder. To don't always be why you always gotta, you're no fun. I just acre for that. I want to see Taos like going back to pen and paper and be like, you know what? We don't need banks. Just give me $1,200 a month into this agreeable amount, and then I'll give you the deed to the property. We'll just cut out the middle, man. Because banks aren't useful. They don't help you. They pick and choose who gets what. They're like, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, look at the screen. Type, 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 type. Oh, look at the screen. Says, oh, I'm sorry. We can't help you. Well, what are people like me are supposed to do that want help, that want to do things to help the community? Because you guys don't help the community. You guys don't even know who Bonnie is? Who doesn't know who Bonnie is in Taos? Like, how do you walk around Taos and not know who Bonnie is, and know her and care enough about her as a human being and know her story? How do you know that? Like, it's the same people that live downtown. Give them like a little, refrigerator and give them all the same key to it. And then if the restaurants have leftover food, they have keys to it too. But not everybody has access. Give access to the people who have nothing, and then they won't be so inclined to take what you got. It's gonna happen more and more. Be cool to people, or just accept the fact that people are gonna screw you over. It don't matter. It don't matter if you're kind to them. It doesn't matter if you're good to them. But how people treat me doesn't have whatever. Because I don't live this life for this life. I live this life for that life. The one over there. The one I haven't lived yet. Because what I do in this life definitely impacts that one. Because I know, because I learned it from the last one. I don't keep making the same mistakes over and over. I make all new ones. And then I'm going to end up on this. Crazy. How many times have I looked at people and they're like, you're crazy? Every time I look at somebody crazy, I look at them like this. Like, I must look at them like, because I always wonder, crazy is a subjective thing. Crazy to me is freaking hitting your mother. So my brother's crazy. Crazy to me is freaking flipping out, getting pissed at your 16-year-old sister, combining your military moves you just learned with your freaking wrestling moves you learned for 3 years running around with boys. Slapping her head in the ground. That's crazy, with their arms pinned to her side. That's a bitch move. All these guys, all your frat boys, brothers, if they knew that you did that, they would probably think less of you. And it would probably make a lot of sense of your behavior. When you find out how people were, it makes a lot of sense from how they are now. So it's crazy so that's crazy. People that cause harm to others, that's crazy. When they're physically hurt, when they want to, sticks and stones. They could be, there isn't much that, I wonder if there is a thing, because I know there's a lot of psychological people out there that I do that. I study people. I know what it is that they hate about themselves the most. And that if you ever meet them, all you got to do is bring up that thing that they hate about the most. So I wonder what that would be, how others would perceive me. Because I'm pretty okay with everything. Because when you're a survivor of the things I've survived, sticks and stones, there's really not, my hip pops. What's somebody going to say to me? Where did somebody say, did I write that one down? No, somebody said something about be yourself. I treat others how I was treated, and then I learned to treat myself. So for a long time the world was really ugly to me, and then so I was ugly to myself, and then I had to learn how to treat myself different than the rest of the world. So I started taking care of myself and doing whatever, basically let my ego run the show. And now my ego takes a step back, because mom is my primary purpose, and it don't matter what I want to do. Mom comes first. That's all I got for now. Thanks for